Alright, it is August 10th, fucking 2024. I'm fucking tired as fuck. Uh, Dude. Antinatalism, natalism, whatever you call it, it's fucking based. That is radical Hamiltonianism, is uh, antinatalism, because Hamiltonianism is anti-nature. Okay? Nature is a line. The way it is currently, it's a line, depicted as a line, a horizontal line. This is the scope. It's shallow. You can't, or it doesn't have to be a two-dimensional. It could be three-dimensional. Yeah, three-dimensional. It's just a shallow pool of water. That's how we are right now. There's no real centralization. Everyone fights for their own individual selves and their children. Hamiltonianism, or radical republicanism, whatever you want to call it, communism, they're all the same thing, just different names. But that's the idea of, instead of having the pool be shallow and, not really going anywhere, what if you instead had all the water focused on one? That's deep, man. You can actually go somewhere. That's what we need to do. But we have birth, and I fucking hate birth. It's so barbaric. Why do people feel the need to have kids? Like it's just, why? Like, why the fuck do my parents have kids? They're fucking barbarians. I despise them. I'm glad my dad's running. Fuck him. Fuck my mom too, man. Why are we still having children, man? You're like, why are we still having children? It's like, it's so comparable to buying a dog. Like, having your own biological children is so comparable. It's so comparable to buying a dog from a breeder when there are so many fucking dogs in animal shelters. There's so many orphans in the world, man, and we're here creating more. Why? I mean, it's like slavery, bro. You can't abolish slavery without government, without U.S. forts being occupied, like being controlled. You can't abolish slavery if you can't maintain possession of your own fucking forts. Just like you can't abolish birth if you can't maintain possession of your forts. It's just like, god damn it, I'm surrounded by apes, bro. I'm surrounded by animals, dude. People who are just so animals. Like, I'm angry about it, and I'm just angry about how barbaric this world is. And sometimes when I'm not angry, I kind of understand why it is. Why, because, like, if, for example, like, end game. What is end game? End game is the end of existence. It's the end of history. It's when there's nothing else to do. It's just the end. It's like in video games when you've done everything there's to do. That's end game. I understand that shit is boring as fuck. So, what do? You perpetually go back in the past, where it's not boring. Like, I mean, I compare this, the struggle of all the suffering that exists and whatnot. I'm like, alright, well, compare that to total boredom. Like, oh, okay, there, whatever. But one thing's certain. I absolutely despise people who have biological children. I despise them so much. I understand why they do it. It's because they're animals. They're non-compassionate. They don't have the ability to sympathize, to feel others' pain, to like animals, predators. They don't give a fuck about the animals they kill and eat. They don't have sympathy, and therefore they're inferior beings because their minds are, That's how humans are, that eat meat for one. For example, like at my work, they had pizza, whatever, and this Billy, this guy, he was like, he was eating pepperoni. I'm like, I was taking the pepperoni off because I'm just disgusted by it, and something we were talking, and I asked him, I said, so would you eat? I said, so would you eat? I'm like, so right now you're eating bits of a dead pig. Would you eat bits of a dead human? And he's like, hell yeah, I would. I'm like, okay, come on. I'm the weird one? I'm the weird one right now? Seriously? No, dude, vegans. I support vegans, dude. I do this. This is not Nazi. This is just the UN salute. This is not the Nazi salute. The Nazis perverted it. This is the UN salute. Pretend that's the United Nations flag. I pledge allegiance, you know. But God, I was at work, dude. I fucking hate how Mexicans, when they work in the U.S., they talk to each other in Spanish, not in English. And I hate that so much. I just want to see one and just rip their head off and just bash them. It makes me mad, dude. I don't have any this dude's like, hey, go give me some lids. I'm like, you can't ask nicely. And they start talking to each other in Spanish. I'm like, dude, fuck you. And I get kind of national, tribalistic. And I hate tribalism. But that's what tribalism does. It engenders tribalism. I don't want to be tribalistic. I want to pledge allegiance to the United Nations, not to anything else. The United Nations, because it's the one flag that is non-discriminatory, that is non-exclusive. The Israeli flag's exclusive. I was watching this thing how in Nagasaki they didn't invite Israel, which is so funny because they're fucking Israel is a colonial apartheid ethno state. They are. It's such an artificial country, and you say the word country. What does that mean for something to be a country? You know, like, what does that, like, for example, ISIS, the Islamic State, but it was comprised of a bunch of foreigners that just fucking, well, minority foreigners, most of them were probably natives to, like, wherever, but that's a country. Oh, ISIS is now a country. No, it's just a government. That's all it is. When I refer to country, I refer to government. Country is land. But it's just, there's so many fucking, like, there's no real standardized word. It gets confusing. But yeah, I just hate how people, like, speak other languages. Nah, bro. Like, oh, you only speak English, you're inferior. I'm like, bro, I'm like, bro, the reason I only speak English and why you speak English along with whatever fucking language you speak is because English is the international language, and I already speak English. That's the language I grew up speaking. You grew up speaking Spanish. The only reason you speak English is because English is the international language. If Spanish were the international language, then I would learn Spanish and you would not know English. There's no reason for me to know any other language. Like my brother, he's obsessed with his Norwegian nationalism. His little Norwegian, like, he's obsessed with that shit. Because, like, oh, 23andMe, you're like 30% Norwegian. You're like, oh my god, I'm Norwegian. I have an identity. Like, no, fuck that. Burn that shit down. You're like trying to learn Norwegian and shit. I'm like, oh my god, for fuck's sakes. But yeah, I have no respect for people who have biological children, because I'm like, you know that's unethical, yet you do it anyways. You know there's tons of orphans that you could rescue, but you you just neglect them. You instead choose to force somebody to exist purely because they have the same skin color as you, well, the same genetics as you, more specifically. Like, that's just so barbaric. We might as well just return to like racism, like slave segregation, dude. Like hell, you know. Like fucking the Minnesota, like I hate IVF, dude. I hate that shit. It's so barbaric. How am I the only person that seemingly is able to understand that IVF is barbaric? It's not progressive. But yeah, I just get fed up over this shit. There's no reason to have children. What's weird about people is like we're sentient beings. We are rational beings. Our bodies our bodies are built for, like, for example, my hands, these things are designed for grasping on to branches. Let me show you. Oh shit, I don't have my MacBook. I'll show you on this thing if it'll load. What's the gibbon? Gibbon. Oh, this dude right here, bro. I mean, look at this, bro. But look at that shit, bro. Look at that. Look. Look at that shit. Like, clear my tabs, but like, look at that shit. Look at that. And look at that. Which hand is it? It's this hand, right? No, I'm fucked up, man. I'm fucked up. How do I don't think it's because it's mirrored. But, like, we have the same hands, dude. Mine are just a little different than his. But it's the same. And, like, that's crazy, dude, that there are animals that look just like me. I mean, because, like, it's just weird. Like, we're people. Us humans, we're people. We have minds that think and all that, but we're animals. And, like, we know we're animals because there are blatant animals that have the same body part. Like, they have the same, like, they look just like us. That's so weird. And, like, what's weird about women is, like, they're people too. They're sentient beings who feel pain, who are able to rationalize and everything, and you know, but their bodies are essentially just baby factories. And it's like, oh, cool, it's whatever, no big deal, no big deal. I don't know, but I fucking hate, dude. Why see it? Like, I hate that shit, dude. I hate. I hate seeing. And same with, like, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know. Like, I just, like, a lot of women are, and men too, but a lot of women are NPCs. They're not actual people. They could be people if they were able to, like, break away from their programming and step back and be able to see stuff for how it is. But they're not capable of that. They remain inside the box. They're not able to escape it and look at the box from the outside. They can't do that. It's kind of like Earth, you know. Like, we were able to escape Earth and look at Earth from the outside, and understand our perspective, our location. It's fascinating, really. But women, they're just like, oh, my boyfriend. Oh my god, my nails. Like, my nails. Oh my god, my makeup. Oh my god, You're an NPC. I seriously doubt your sentience. You do not exist in the Great Society. No, sir. But I was talking about this. I don't really want to change the subject with 5 minutes left. It's kind of weird. Like my grandma, she would not put up with me if I were not her genetic descendant. If I were a genetic stranger, she would probably be like, get the fuck out of my house. Like, fuck you. She would, you know, just not give a fuck about me. What's weird about parents is, and that reminds me, I need to do some chores real quick, but what's interesting about parents is, I am related to my dad, I'm related to my mom. All my dad's family is my family, all my mom's family is my family, but my dad's family and my mom's family are strangers to each other. It's kind of weird to think about, but I used to be, like, it's weird, I used to be like a right-winger. I used to, back when I was a normie, I was just kind of, you know, whatever. First I was like like neocon, because I just listened to whatever my dad said, and then I kind of grew up a little bit more. Or I kind of went, I became a Nazi because I thought it was cool. That's really why I thought it was cool and edgy to be a Nazi or National Socialist, whatever. And I thought it was like it was something different. Yeah, I thought that was cool. And then I got into biology and existentialism. I'm like, nah, dude, I'm a communist. But I'm not a Marxist Marx was not a communist. Marx was an idiot. True communism is Hamiltonianism. It's the idea of, it's Lincolnism. You know. I used to get the fuck freaked out over those fucking emergency alert systems. Those used to scare the fuck out of me. I remember I was in the tub and an emergency alert system went off, and this was at night. I was probably around 8, 9, somewhere around there. It's like everything was around 8 or 9. I don't know why. It's just, you know. God, I look old, bro. Well, I remember that, and I was freaking out about it. My mom was just annoyed with me. She was just fucking annoyed. And I was like, Mom, that's scary as fuck, you know. They're scary as fuck, dude. This world is weird, man. This world's so barbaric. The more I grow up, the more I realize how barbaric this world is. I say this world, I'm referring to this existence. Because I know worlds are simply the surfaces of objects in space. I understand that. Yeah, another thing about antinatalism is the fact that humans are so pollutive. I mean, we just throw so much trash away and just, not only do we cause harm to ourselves, to the planet, but also to other animals. Like elephants suffer greatly because of our overpopulation. And like we're cutting down forests so we could build homes. Nah, bro. Simply limit the population. It's so weird how our eyeballs don't move, like how like how there's a person in here, and the person, this person is here, is where this person is. You could shoot me right here, it's fine. It's so weird. I never understood how dis disgusting I don't know the word to use for this, but I never really realized how like anti-romantic death is. I used to kind of think it's like, oh yeah, death, yeah. No, death is fucking like in Valorant, you see the characters die, they're just laying there like bro, they're eventually going to like bloat, and then they're gonna be eaten by maggots, and then they're going to become skeletonized, and then eventually atomized. And it's like, oh yeah, cool. We're so desensitized to it. This world's weird, bro. This world's weird. This world is weird. This world is weird. Existence is weird. Existence is weird. I don't think this is the only thing that exists. I don't know. Alright, I'm into it.